Hello, my name is Dr. David Plerday. I'm a nutrition scientist and exercise scientist, and I'm the founder of the Plerday Institute, a world leader in science-based weight loss. Today I have a special guest with me. His name is Ben. Ben, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So audience, if you've ever watched one of our videos, you'll know that the hero of the story is not Dr. Plerday, it's Ben. Ben is an incredible example of success in our program. You've been with us. We did a half-day science-based weight loss assessment on September 24th of last year. Today is July 12th of 2022. So let's do the math. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, essentially 9 months, maybe 10, and you've lost 170 pounds of body fat. I'd like to cue up his before and after pictures. Right now, we're looking at his upper body side view. Ben, what do you see?
I just see a lot of extra weight. A lot that was really hard to carry for a long time.
It's incredible. You've lost the entire weight of a human being. And let's talk about the assessment. So you came in September of last year, you weighed 462 pounds. We measured you in a device called the bod pod. It's the most accurate instrument in the world for what it does. It measures the weight of muscles and bones, connective tissues and organs, but it also measures the weight of all fat. On that day, when we did the assessment on September 24th, your muscles and bones weighed 193 pounds. Your body fat was 268.8 pounds. Today, your body fat is 99 pounds. It's 170 pounds less. And to put this into perspective, audience, this is more than a 63% reduction in body fat. It's truly remarkable. So let's talk about, if it would be okay, some of the learning points. Right off the bat, we learned something was not exactly right. There was a problem in your fat cells. We pointed out a suppression of an enzyme in your fat cells. And what we did was we instituted a regimen that had to do a lot with the chemical composition of things you couldn't smell or taste or detect in everything, right? Your foods and your fluids, your pills and tablets and capsules, everything that you were ingesting that might not have been considered even food. But somehow these chemical compositions were causing a suppression. And what we did was we reversed that enzyme suppression. And how long did it take?
3 days.
3 days, which I know can be hard to get your mind around, but that's exactly what happened. And within less than 1 week, you came back into the lab and we saw the reversal of that suppression in your fat cells. That meant that fat cells were degrading the triglyceride, mobilizing the fatty acids, and fat became a source of fuel. And from that point on, your fat cells and your body fat got smaller every day, every week, and every month at a mathematically linear rate. Let's cue up the spreadsheet that shows your body fat loss. And what we see here, Ben, and audience, is a body fat loss of approximately 10% every single month. And not only did we see this 170 pound fat loss, but we also saw very incremental increases in your muscle weight. Your lean mass was 193, today it's 203. Absolutely mind-blowing. So congratulations to you, man.
Thank you.
For that, for this outcome. Another major learning point was exercise, right? We placed you in the Human Performance Laboratory, and we measured your muscle metabolism to very precise changes in exercise. And we taught you a new way to exercise. We prescribed a way to exercise that isolated the utilization of this very carefully mobilized fat. So you weren't just mobilizing fatty acids, We coupled that with the utilization of fatty acids, and this also contributed to this incredibly successful outcome. But as a result of controlling the muscle fibers, utilizing fat, and sparing the sugar, the muscle glycogen, what did you not crave?
I didn't crave sugar or even eating till I was full. Any of that. Any
Yeah.
of the things I used to crave.
Yeah,
Just after the first couple weeks, they were gone.
amazing. Let's talk about accountability. What's it been like for you to have a doctor in your corner every day, touching base and checking in with you to see how you're doing?
I think it's something, it was the biggest piece of the puzzle that I wouldn't do on my own, was holding myself accountable. And when I have the team, every day, just, how's everything going? How's your exercise? How's the eating? How's everything? It keeps you on track. It's so much easier to stay on track when you're not forced to, but you're checking in. It helps a lot.
Absolutely. We have a chef on the team. When you come in and we have our sessions, we eat together, chef prepared food. What's it been like having that culinary component backed by metabolic research in terms of your own enjoyment of the process?
I think cooking is one of the hardest things to learn, and to do it properly so that you're eating the right things and to also make it taste good is difficult for me. Mm-hmm. So to have the chef is huge, because I can get 80% or even 100% of my meals every week just already prepared. I just heat them up or I take them to work. Somebody like me that doesn't have the time to sit there and meal prep or cook, it's solid. It helps a lot.
That's great. One of the other major pieces of our interdisciplinary program is looking at weight loss through the lens of a sobriety path. Now, we touched on accountability, but sometimes, I would say for most people, when we're in pain, the most common way that people cope with pain is food. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? The wisest teacher that ever lived said it's not what goes in our mouth that makes us bad, it's what comes out of our mouth. But when food becomes a drug, and there's a pattern of self-medicating, it can be very destructive and can affect our lifespan and our health in very specific ways. How has that piece of our methodology been helpful to you?
I think when you have certain options, you build the better habits that help you eat better. Mm-hmm. It's hard to explain, I guess, because I used to eat a lot, and I would eat, most of the time I would eat was by myself. Nobody else was there. So to hold yourself accountable and to be taught to do that by having other people holding you accountable, I think now that I have those good habits, mm-hmm. it's a lot easier to continue.
Absolutely. We talked about developing new ways to cope with pain that's not the drug. Things like solitude, journaling, prayer, meditation, exercise. There are things that we have in our, toolkit, if you will, that can help us to cope with pain in a way that's totally congruent. And, I go back to this parallel of a sobriety path. In this journey, I've kind of, in some ways, functioned sort of as a sponsor. And so having that encouragement, the affirmation, I suppose those have been components for you that have kind of pulled it all together at different points. Is that fair to say?
That's more than fair to say. I think without the support of this team, and I have a pretty decent family and friends, and without their support and having the right kind of things in the house, I probably would revert back to how I used to be.
Incredible. It's amazing. I sit in this chair. I've been doing this now for over 31 years. I've helped thousands of men and women, but I have to say this is probably one of the most inspiring stories. Your journey, what you've accomplished in such a short time. It started at the end of September of last year, and to be down 170 pounds. And you haven't plateaued yet. You know, the part of the story of the assessment that we did last year in September was that you're within striking distance of your high school weight. And so I want to touch on that. Before we do, can we just camp out a little bit about the pain that you felt before you started and how that pain, how it's transformed into something different?
Yeah, so social situations were never fun for me. If people were going go-karting, I couldn't fit the seat belt. If I was on an airplane, I had to buy 2 seats. If I went to a White Sox or a Blackhawks game, I couldn't fit in the seat at all. I'd have the armrest like digging into my back the whole time. I have to sit in the front of the chair. Now, if I go, totally different story. I got room in the armrests. I can buy 1 airplane seat. I feel like I actually am part of society now. That might sound weird. I feel, I don't know, I feel like I fit in more.
I hear you, and it's truly an inspiration to sit here having watched you go through this journey, because you're physically not recognizable. I mean that in the kindest, most positive way. I've said it before, I'll say it again, you're a handsome man, and I can say that, and it's truly incredible. I'd like to show the audience more of the pictures. I'd like to cue up, again, the side view, the upper body side shot. And again, what do you notice, Ben? What do you see?
Just, I don't know. I see a lot more definition in my arms, in my face, my neck, my chin. I actually have cheekbones and a chin. I see hope, really, I guess, is what I see. Like,
I see a guy, I don't mean to interrupt you. I see somebody on the left who's heading for a disaster. I see somebody on the right that looks completely normal.
Yeah.
Like normal body composition and healthy, handsome. It's mind-blowing. Let's take a look at the face shot, if you don't mind.
Sure.
What do you see from the left to the right?
I see it's a totally different person. I've literally not been recognized by people that I've known for years. A lot more definition, a lot more in my bone structure.
Yeah, so let's just pause for a second. And again, I don't mean to interrupt, but people who you've known for a long period of time have not recognized you.
Yeah, they've walked right by.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I see the facial features are defined. The other thing that I see is joy.
Yeah. Definitely more joy than a year ago or 9 months ago when we started this.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about my pain and just some of the emotional struggles that you go through when you're as large as I was.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the key word. And coming back from that is huge. And now we know is possible.
It is possible. It's incredible what you've accomplished. Thank you so much for being willing to share. I don't take it lightly. It means a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. I want us to imagine for just a moment, there's a man or woman out there right now, they're watching this conversation and they're hearing about the Plur Day method for the first time. They're hearing your story and they're exactly or very close to where you were, 7, 8 months ago. What would you say to him or her to encourage them to take the first step and call?
I would say that I've seen things like this, and I've been, pessimistic towards these kinds of things in the past. And I was referred, and I wouldn't change it for the world now. I think this was exactly what I needed, and this was probably one of the only things that could have helped somebody like me. And I didn't think it existed until I found this program.
Thank you. Really appreciate it, man.
For sure.
And audience, thank you for taking the time to watch this conversation. I do hope you found it to be very encouraging. And I'll leave you with this. You don't have to struggle anymore pick up the phone and call 844-756-8733. We'd like to get you on the right road to better health, joy, and self-respect. Thank you so much for watching.